There are two approaches we can take to studying political legitimacy as I've defined it. A normative approach investigates the normative conditions under which there is a permission to make a binding political decision. That approach focuses on the relationship between political legitimacy and other normative concerns, for example, a concern with justice or with respect for the citizen's autonomy. A second approach, which is often overlooked, is meta-normative. That approach focuses on the grounds of political legitimacy. The grounds of political legitimacy are the sources of its normativity. In this section, I first introduce how I think about our key question: what makes political decisions legitimate? I then explain why legitimacy is an important normative concern. In the final section of this chapter, I discuss the differences between a normative and a meta-normative perspective on political legitimacy. A. The political will. Many think that political legitimacy depends on some form of democratic political control. We can witness the force of this idea in the regularly occurring calls for more democracy, in the Hong Kong protests of 2019, for example, but also in regional resistance to overly centralized forms of government. On this widely held view, political decisions are legitimate in virtue of having been made democratically in one form or another. The appeal to democracy is just one example of a very robust and long-standing tradition of political thought that takes the will of the people as the ground of political legitimacy. The idea that the political will is the ground of political legitimacy is prominently articulated in social contract theories. But we also find it in contemporary forms of liberalism as well as in republicanism. The broader claim, to which democratic theories of political legitimacy tend to be committed, is that political decisions are legitimate in virtue of how they respond to the political will.